1. Let me make sure.
Indeed, going to be looking at the Division 1 games from MadMen Phantoms against Good Cheat Donnies. I've had a quick look at these two teams in terms of their positions in their respective group stage bracket. Good Cheat Donnies currently on 3 wins, 2 losses, and MadMen Phantoms are on 2 wins and 2 losses. Both of these teams need a win. Good Cheat Donnies need this win to ensure that they are secure getting into the playoff stage, and MadMen need it to ensure that they can stay in the race to get into the playoff round. If Gucci win, then there is a very high chance that they can get within that winner's bracket section, allowing them to have a double elimination game compared to the single elimination that MadMen are most likely going to get if they do get through. A very important game for both teams. We are just currently waiting for the games to start. It is going to be a fearless best of 3, so we will have to look at a separate link before going into the actual games themselves.
Yeah, I am quite excited to see these teams face off. From what I know, I Smoked Ivan even helped with some of the tryouts for MadMen at the start of the split, because he filled in for someone, I believe. So they had complete teams. So we'll see.
Yeah, Ivan is a pretty chill guy. I did win Division 2 with him. You know, he had to deal with my shenanigans. Any team that has him is a lucky team. In terms of the actual play styles that these two teams do have, with what I do know about Gucci, their top laner generally tends to play for more of an aggressive top lane. I know that they are a very big fan of the Gwen and characters along those sort of lines. So Gwen, Camille, those top laners that can deal really big damage if you do try and overstep, try and push you back into your tower, try to get those leads early on to help the rest of their team. So it's
Yeah,
going to be very interesting to see how the top laner of MadMen is going to deal with that.
yeah, it's quite interesting. Of course, we have seen a lot from the MadMen side as we stream their games. As I'm getting informed that we are getting new we are getting there's some shenanigans going on with the drafter tool. We are just waiting just a little bit, so hold on.
I believe it was a couple of weeks ago that we actually saw this MadMen team face off for the first time, seeing Clyde Hype for the first time as well. Had a bit of a shaky game 1, they did, but really brought it back in the second and third games, managed to make also showing the reason why they call him Money.
Yeah,
I can
I
also
mean,
hear myself through your through your thing as well, so if you could find a way to stop that. We need to now wait and see if Clyde Hype can be consistent with this. Because had a very good series last time, but they're now that he has to show it again now. Same thing with Money, same thing with Ferric. They now have this win. They've had some issues with their team when it
yeah,
comes to, you know, like all these changes that they've had to do. They've now, like, you know, sort of found their ground to stand in. They now have to make something out of it. You know, with what I know about Ivan, having played with him, he really does enjoy his enchanters. He likes playing his Seraphine, his Lulus, all that sort of stuff. So you're really looking to try and find a way to stop to stop Ivan from being able to get those easy poke down onto you, because all it's going to take is just a little bit of that, a little bit of annoyance from the side of MadMen to try and overforce something. And next thing you know, Rabidy's going to be there. I believe Rabidi generally tends to play more like Vi, Jarvan, those sort of players. I could be completely wrong. It's been quite a while since I have seen the Gucci play. I would admit I have not seen anything of Kyra.
Yeah,
I don't actually know
I don't
how you
know
say it.
either.
Ivan, I know you're listening. How do you say your ADC's name? Come on, give me some help, boy. Oh, Kyra. First try, baby!
Kyra. Okay, good to know. Good to know.
But now, is Kyra going to play the Kaiser? That's going to be the question now.
Yeah, that is indeed the question.
Yeah. We are
Um,
still waiting
I,
for these two teams to actually go into the draft at this point in time, because it is a fearless. Teams do tend to use this outside draft tool,
yeah,
because it allows you to see
it's
which champions you have used in previous games.
it seems the tool is having some issues today, so they might use the in-game client.
Yeah,
We'll
worst
we'll
comes to
try to
worst.
figure out how
Mhm.
to. Try to figure out to get the fearless picks up on the screen for drafts, but it might
We can always
take a bit
write
of
them down
effort.
ourselves, to be fair.
Yes, I believe so. Their tickets are being made for the in VL thing, so that it will be handled. It just means a slight bit of game delay. Um, we'll have to see. Overall, I think these two teams should be interesting to watch.
Yeah, it's going to
Uh,
be a case of these two teams having quite different playstyles against each other. It's going to be interesting to see how the case of Gucci, how they're going to use those oppressive lanes that they have in the top lane and the bottom lane, how they're going to be able to expand that into a win, along with a pretty damn good jungler in Rabidi.
yeah,
And then you have MadMen, like I said, who have found their footing, who have found their ways to play, who have found that voice again. They have a finalist in Varric. They have someone who knows what it takes to get to
I
that
mean,
stage.
Damon also won. Well, Div 3, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah, Div 3, but this is a quite a big leap up, all things
It
considered.
is, but they
But
do know how to win.
yeah, they
Madman
do know how to win.
obviously having the new ADC in Clyde
Yeah,
hype. As we are getting into picks and bans very shortly. Taking a quick look at the OPG.GGs, I can see that recently there are some. There, Varric has been playing some Volibear.
yeah. Volibear, generally speaking, is always going to be a very good jungler, very good top laner. one of those champions where if you know how to control him, it's always going to be a big threat on
Yeah.
that Summoner's Rift.
Uh, just quickly looking at recently played champions, Cloud Hype has been playing a lot of Evolution. On the other side, I can see that I Smoked Ivern has been playing some of the Braum and the Rel. But I love to see Tough Smudge playing a Shen game, although he didn't do too well on it. But we'll have to see if he pulls it out. I don't suspect it. But
Yeah, again, it's one of those cases we would just have to see. I assume both teams will know their sort of first and second drafts, how they want to play. Potentially, if it does go into a third draft, they might try and pull something out of the pocket. Because both these teams do need this win for one reason or another. Like I said, Good Chi need this win to be able to secure playoffs. MadMen need this win in order to stay within the race.
yeah. Uh, generally, I think both teams have a good shot. I mean, I'm quickly going to take a look at their match history in VL. MadMen Phantoms winning some games, losing some games. Recently been winning a bit more. Gucci Donnies, it's just a flip flop. They have been alternating wins and losses the entire split so far. So we'll have to see. MadMen on a steady climb with the wins. Gucci Donnies flip flopping. So if we go by history, Gucci Donnies should lose this series, but we'll have to see in game, of course.
History can often repeat itself, but the good thing about history is that you can learn from it as well. Understand what went wrong in the past in order to ensure those same mistakes do not happen in the future. How
Uh,
long do you think until we're actually going to be able to get into?
oh, I see. They decided to use a different drafting tool. We will very quickly change that, so we can see the draft as it has been updated. Page not found. Give me one moment as we update. We do, of course, apologize for the delay.
What?
We are in draft, as you can see. Let's run it down real quick. Bans for MadMen, Camille, Victor, Seraphine. For Gucci Donnies, it's Poppy, Zyra, Gwen. Now a Gregos band coming in. Okay, B1, Jarvan, R1, Vi, R2, Caitlyn, B2, Tristana, B3, Alistar, R3, Karma. Now the Kill band coming over, Oriana band. And you take it from here, Joseph.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I Smoked Ivern, generally speaking, is on those enchanters. It is on those supports that will poke you down, and the Karma along with the Caitlyn, it's going to be a really oppressive, really annoying lane to play into. However, when you do have the Alistar Tristana facing them, all it's going to take is just that little bit of patience, that little bit of understanding when you can go in, and as soon as you find that opportunity, you can essentially say, "Hey, this Karma's going nowhere." The Ari blind pick into the mid lane, it's
Yep.
perfectly fine. There really is not much that can actually deal with the Ari come the early game. it does seem like the side of Gucci are sort of more looking towards that sort of pick potential
Yeah,
when you
the
have the
pick
Caitlyn,
comp.
Karma, the Ari.
The Karma doesn't make too much sense for me, but I think it's just a answer into the Alistar. And Nivea, probably the only champion that might be able to deal with the Ari in the early game. The QE being very long range and very oppressive. Ari
Yeah, not to
can
mention
try to dodge it with the W, the Foxfire.
with the amount of CC that you have around this Anivia with the Jarvan and the Alistar, that sort of stuff.
Now
It
even a
makes it very
Renekton.
easy. Yeah.
Yep.
And even the Renekton now as well. It does just make it so you can place down that ultimate, and whoever has been stunned or put into the Jarvan Cataclysm, they're going to have a not very fun time.
The one thing I do want to say is MadMen are lacking a bit of range in the, especially in the early game before the Anivia has a bit more damage than CDR and Tristana has levels. But the Riven coming through. Okay, so we're going to see a full skill matchup in the top lane, I would say.
Yeah, like I said, Carrot, who is the top laner for Gucci, he does tend to like to play these top laners that do have a little bit of skill behind them, try to win that early game so he can become a massive force in the mid to late game. Let me just write down all of these
Yeah,
champions.
we have the we have the drafts saved. We have since it's a different tool, we have 3 different links, so we can just look back. I'll send you the
Okay,
links
cool.
as well,
Yeah, that's fine.
Joseph.
Yep, cheers. Now, this is a little bit interesting because honestly, on the side of Gucci, it's a very easy to see pick composition when you have the fire, the karma, the Ari, all these single hit CC abilities.
Yep.
The Caitlyn as well. If someone tries to scurry away, she can just shoot them dead, and then you have the Riven who can potentially come in when no one is paying attention, able to take down the Tristana or potentially even take down the Anivia as well.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of attention that has to be put on trying to understand where this Riven is at all times. The only issue with the side of Gucci is the fact that when it comes to team fighting and that sort of stuff, there really isn't that much in terms of AoE. It's very high damage on a single person, but once you've expended all of that, it's going to be really hard to try and keep up that momentum from the CC that you've used. When you look on the side of MadMen, it's a small bit of team fighting, it's a small bit of pick. Not really
I mean,
the
I
best
would
of both
argue that
worlds.
they're playing a comp that can really well receive the engage from Gucci Donnies.
Yes,
Jarvan
potentially.
being mainly a either follow up or re engage champion. Anivia being a full area control mage with a surprising amount of damage, actually. Um, and
I
then
would
the
say the one good thing.
Tristana, Alistar, Renekton, Jarvan, they're all re-engage or follow-up champions. So
Yeah, definitely. I will say the one good thing about having a Tristana as well is that you can really make throw this fire out of position if you can time your jump correctly.
yeah,
Because the good thing with Tristana's jump is the fact that if you get hit by a CC, if you can time it correctly, your jump still goes off.
yeah. Also, about the one redeeming quality from the side of Gucci Don is they are going to be able to siege. As long as Anivia isn't there, I think they're fairly strong at sieging. Caitlyn obviously being one of those champions. And a
Yeah,
fairly high amount of range with the poke, of course.
yeah, there isn't a huge amount of wave clear on the side of MadMen.
Later
They
on
really
later on there is, but early game no. I mean, Anivia is basically able to clear waves. Tristana with E is fine.
it is Mostly going to be down to how much hesitation this MadMen side is going to have in itself. If they can get onto these objectives, onto these fights, onto these turrets as quickly as possible, then they should be fine. If they're starting to prance around objectives and be like, oh, do we do it? Do we not? We see that there's one person up on the top lane who's pushing really hard. Do we go for this and give them that turret? If they start um asking those questions to themselves, that's when issues are going to start to arise.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
will say on the side of good Donnies, you need to have a good early. If you do not get the lead early on with this composition that the Gucci have, it's going to fall apart pretty quickly.
I mean, as Damon always says, let's look at both comps in terms of the button R. You have a Renekton ult, Jarvan ult, Tristana ult, Alistar ult. Anivia is not really a pressed R champion, as in not as the instant R power spike.
Yeah, her ultimate just feels like another ability, to be honest.
Yeah, so I would say MadMen have like three and a half press R buttons. Let's look at the side of Gucci Donnies. They have Vi, Ari, I guess Riven as well. Caitlyn, I don't know. It's nice to snipe someone, but it's not one of those press R buttons. Karmas
Yes.
are being a bit like Anivia, just another part of the kit, but it is fairly strong. I will give them that.
It definitely can be strong. If you can get that enhanced shield on everyone, that's an extra potentially 1,200 to 1,600 damage that the sort of madmen have to go through for each of the, well, not each, but in terms of overall of the shield. Like, the amount of value you can get
Yeah.
is insane.
Also, the movement speed on the whole team making it really nice to walk out of the Anivia ult. Anivia kind of being reliant on trapping someone.
Yeah, that as well. Also, if you really think about it, there really isn't that much units for Jarvan to attack. Because the Vi can get out quite easily, the Riven can get out quite easily, the Ahri can just ultimate out, and then the Caitlyn can get out quite easily.
I mean,
So
it's just the I still think Jarvan is going to be focusing bot with his R's. The Caitlyn having a dash to get out, but if Caitlyn uses it, for example, offensively, or uses it to get out of the EQ combo, she and Karma are fairly easily trapped.
yeah, it definitely can be. We really just have to
Ari, of
wait and
course,
see how
also
things
having to invest her ult
the
to get
ultimate
out.
gets out, yes.
That's me.
But really, when
Get into
with
game.
the yeah, it will be interesting to see where these junglers start, which lanes they're going to prioritize in terms of trying to get ahead, or if they're just going to focus upon farming. I don't think they will. When you think of jungle champions that are very good at ganking, these two champions are definitely high up there on the list.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
So I expect to see quite a lot of ganking, a lot of counter ganking, potentially also some. Oh, as we see a 5-man invade at this point in time. Are they going to get anything out of it? I don't think so.
You see how much range that Anivia has on her Q.
Yeah, that
It's
is
it's it's
crazy.
literally half our screen. Now
Not
I
gonna-
want to point your attention to the MadMen vision, having wards in both the red side and blue side. Red and blue buff side of the
yeah, that
jungle.
is yeah,
So,
that is one of
the
the
Jarvan will be spotted here at the start of his clear. Uh, but MadMen having full information on that.
yeah, that is one of the issues you have when you do invade with everyone like that. You are saying, hey, our jungle is completely open. Go put in whatever ward you want. Light our jungle up like a Christmas tree. So yeah, both teams are going to know exactly where the other one starts, and we are already starting to see the oppression that you see there on the bot side, along with the aggressive nature that this Riven has against this Renekton.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
take
already
a
over.
quick look at the runes. And if you have, of course, having the electrocute, being able to proc it fairly easily with the how long the Q stun is early game.
I'm a little bit confused at the fleet footwork on the Caitlyn.
I think they're expecting a lot of early ganks from Jarvan, maybe? Wanting to have the movement speeds. But yeah, I agree, it's a bit weird, especially since she should win out against the Tristana early. So, like a lethal tempo or even a PTA if you want to go for all in, makes a lot of sense. As we do see the first blood coming out. Flash, of course, being used by Varric, but overall, that's a really nice early gank. And
Yeah,
I
very
believe that was a level 2 gank. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Ari is still
I
level
will
2.
say,
It is a
yeah,
level 2 gank.
I will say Varric was in the right place at the right time, because if at any other point that Ari gets that ward down and nothing happens, it was just the fact that she put that ward down, and literally where she put it, Varric was just standing. It's very unfortunate, but it is one of those risks that you do take when you don't know exactly where the jungler is, and because of that, it is first blood for the side of MadMen. Jarvan getting that, he's going to be very, very happy. That's going to get him very close to his first item already.
I mean,
I see.
as Jarvan, you want to stay ahead of the Vi ideally, because Vi is just such a tempo jungler. As we see a potential dive, the ward was spotted in the bush by Vi. We see the ignite coming down.
I think she gets out alive.
She does get out of life with 35 HP. So, still close.
Yeah, unfortunate.
I think if Riven doesn't drop the ignite, as we see a flash come out from Smudge. Repeat gank in the mid lane. Yeah, the ignite being necessary to kill the Renekton there in the top lane.
Yeah, definitely, and also, yeah, that's one of those cases. You have to use your flash there, or you'll just say goodbye. Yeah. That's my second death. Although this does mean that this Ahri has no way of actually getting out again. So if that happens for a second time, you're saying goodbye, Ahri.
I do think that Ahri will hit 6 before Jarvan can make another gank attempt in the mid lane. So
that is possible, but are you going to use your ultimate every single time that the Anivia uses her Q? You're not going to.
No, but I think this Jarvan will be more than happy to invest in EQ for the Ahri ult.
Yep, and you're just seeing
Vi now coming mid lane.
You are seeing that out every single time that this Tristana is trying to get some sort of CS. We do see the Jarvan come
Karma.
in.
Ignite dropping from Damon. Easy kill. Karma just getting called out on clearing a ward.
Yeah. One of those times where, just being a little bit too overconfident with your positioning just leads to you dying, a little bit of hubris. A very nice stack of damage down onto there.
The egg being
popped.
Let's see if the Holy Sheep does die, unfortunately. Vi having good timing, as the Drake will be taken by MadMen. So, kill in the mid laner, in the mid lane over for Drake. I think both sides aren't too unhappy with it.
You are seeing just how important these junglers are, though. All 4 kills that have happened at this point in time, both junglers have been a part of.
Yep.
Like I said, these 2 junglers are going to be playing very aggressively in terms of trying to get these ganks down, trying to punish these champions when they are pushing it further up than they should be. And already 6 minutes in, 4 kills. We already have an objective down now. Both teams are currently on a a
Flash
well,
used
nearly
by
feet
the Holy
point
Sheep. Ult being invested by Tough Smudge on the Ari. Engaged in the bot lane. Varric engaging. Spoke Ivern using Flash. A bit of a optimistic flash from Clyde. But
sadly,
if that's all
the
that's
other
being traded...
The other star was just out of range on using his EQ combo, or WQ, I forget which one it is. I believe that he was slowed just at the edge of his of his headbutt.
Yep.
Which then caused him to use his knock-up in a very unfortunate place.
As we do see really quickly, the Vi getting ahead, pulling ahead in the farm, invading both Raptors earlier and now the top side. Jarvan is a good 16 CS behind. I believe that is two camps.
Is he going to be able to get out? We do see that the RA charm did get out. Can he get it?
Double flash invested from the side of Gucci Donnies. Ignite now dropped on the Holy Sheep. No mana. Will he get out? I do believe so. Damon being there to save him.
Damon's double knock-up, able to get his Frozen Bird out to safety.
That's a double flash invested from the jungle and the top laner. From Gucci Donnies.
It did, the double flash did allow them to get the kill onto Varric though, so not only do they get the feats of warfare, they are also able to get these 3 grabs as well.
Yep.
Varric not being able to get there to stop all 3 from being taken, so he just has to farm up his own jungle. And again, you know, this is what I brought up in the early part, when Carrot does have these champions that are able to sort of put that pressure down on the top lane, being able to come down when these ganks do happen, able to get himself in a position where his presence alone is able to not only deter any sort of counterattack, but to also get the kill as well.
As now, the Vi being how many is it? 4 camps up on this Jarvan, and having some kills to show for it.
That seems around the right one. Yeah, both of these junglers are doing very well. In that first item, Vi a little bit closer, you know, being 700 gold up. Also, Carrot being the good 777 up. Kind of a shame that there is no slot machine nearby, otherwise they would have won big.
Yeah.
You see the
setting
Sorry,
up a lane gank for Jarvan indeed.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. We do see the Jarvan coming down there, although the other star is recalling.